broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Come on, Roxy, let's see twerk. Twerk. No. Hey, come on, Jeff. What you got?
We're Sylvia and Madison right now.
Hey.
What up, AFTERBUZZ? Your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for the Real World. Skeletons Breaking Mad. I'm joined in studio by
What was you gonna call me?
I was about to say by Miss Roxy Striar because she is back in town, y'all, for the Real World.
You couldn't even wait. You were so excited. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and you brought your American shirt.
Yeah.
Does it glow in the dark or
I was
something?
told I look like Lenny Kravitz when I wear this. I'm not even sure what that means.
Okay. We have Nicolette Sensei Don't Play Gaona.
What's up, y'all?
Got her little popular culture.
Yes, you know I got a
shout out
rep,
here.
popular demand. I also want to give a shout out to King Hemi. What's good?
What he doing?
Showing
for you?
love. I mean, I got my supporters who tweet me out. Keep on tweeting towards me. Since they don't play, and I love the love. So bring it on.
Well, all right. Sir Jeff Thurm.
What up?
Jeff, how'd you feel about your other half over here giving shout out to other men?
You
know what I mean?
She can do whatever she wants.
See?
That's
I'm
the way-
comfortable.
I
got Roxy.
Oh
my God, don't do this. No, we finally
My
worked
other
on our
half.
issues.
Oh,
Don't.
it is fine. Me and Jeff are very confident people.
And you can tweet me at Jeff_Thurm.
Yes.
Still got that underscore.
If you guys want to sleep with Jeff, tweet at him right now.
At me.
Hashtag Neff or hashtag Joxy. You guys choose.
Who are we gonna? Oh, look at him. He wants this right now. All right, y'all,
Tony.
So let's just do it. Who should it be? Should it be Joxy or Jeff?
Jeffalette.
Jeffalette.
Or
Or
Neff.
do you want...
It sounds like Heffalump.
No,
It
I'm
wouldn't
gay.
work.
I'm all by myself. I'm sitting over here.
I
over
mean,
my
and we're always
corner.
together anyways. We live
Oh,
together.
I thought
DJ
that's what
Jeffy.
Joxy was.
DJ Jeffy.
DJ
You
Jeffy. There y'all have
Take
it.
your pick.
Do you want
DJ
DJ Jeffy, Jeffalette, or Joxy? Why are you the only one that fully gets laid in every situation?
Let's go.
I can't.
What?
All right, let's talk about it. So it was the prank episode, and
Of course.
it was like an emotional prank episode.
Yeah, this was really, really sweet. There was a lot of feelings going on. There's some tears in the room.
I'm just like-
looking to my left and right.
I'm like, girls, you know what? If you're
I
gonna do
almost
a
teared
prank, girls, why just the pots and pans? Like, that's not a prank. That's annoying as hell. Like, that is not a prank to me.
More
I'm
annoying
just
than
saying,
Jell-O?
Really? If you come into my room one morning and put a pan in my face, I will smack you
You ever
with the
seen
pan
Bad Girls? I'd be
myself.
like, Nicolette ain't gonna get a sleep anymore. You ain't gonna get no sleep no more.
What?
You
I
know,
would be
Bad Girls Club, Tanisha.
So irritated.
But
by
that Jello, I would have been pissed at the Jello too, though.
Yeah.
I know, but at least it's like better than the pots and pans.
No.
Are you
I'll tell
crazy?
Yeah.
Bad Girls Club has the best pranks
I would have
ever.
ate the Jello. I'd
these
be
are
like, thank you.
pussy-ass
I was
pranks.
hungry.
Yeah, but like if it was like chips or like goldfish or something, like sure that shit that's fine. But like
Jello
Jello,
stains.
It's fucking Jello.
And milk.
Oh my
No.
god, Jello stains.
It's not fucking Jell-O. She said it got on her clothes. Imagine you had like a nice white dress on the floor and you have Jell-O, red ass Jell-O on
I'm not
it.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I would never bring anything that I ever expected to keep to the real world. Ever.
You have to bring months of clothes. You're gonna buy a whole new wardrobe.
Sure the fuck would.
Okay.
Oh bullshit.
if they were Jello shots,
Jesse.
that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. I had a party once and I
that's
had Jello
true.
shots, and I was finding Jello everywhere on my carpet.
Y'all are
I was
so
like-
bugging. V is bugging. It was fucking Jello and it's a joke.
Oh, I mean, totally. She shouldn't have. Like, girl, you was trying to throw pots and pans.
But
and
she's
just
like,
You're gonna. Oh my god.
you threw plates on me! Like it's fucking Jello, girl. Like, calm
Like,
down.
girl.
She's like Carrie at the prom.
Right,
Blood
like,
comes
fucking
down.
witch.
But she did. She
Seriously,
did. She was
like-
like, "You come into my room again." I was like, "But you went to their room."
Right.
So many of these people can
You
give
want
but
some,
can't
they gonna be
take.
some.
I think that this show has the lamest pranks always, though. Like,
Yeah.
it is definitely a requirement to be on the Real World that you can submit lame pranks.
No, the best prank we saw was, I think it was San Diego with Frank.
With the alarm clocks?
With the alarm clocks.
That was the
Yeah.
best.
There were these weird ass
Yeah.
alarm clocks and nobody could figure out how to turn them off.
But that was like an on accident prank. Like,
That
people
was
didn't
funny.
realize they weren't going to know. I don't know. I can't think of, like, I feel like I would do a big Google search for months before if I knew I was going to go
Yeah,
on
for
this.
sure. I was thinking the same
Do something
thing.
crazy.
I wouldn't.
I would do something totally crazy.
I mean, they have so much time. They fucking.
I've never been a prankster.
Something about going on the show would make you, I guarantee
I
you,
don't know what that
Nicolette.
means.
No, it would.
It made me a
You
prankster.
guys
Yeah,
can
if
follow
you went
me
on
on
the show.
Snapchat at @DeGreek God, and God is spelled with a 0 if you want to catch up with me and Nicolette's prank
Okay,
wars.
you would.
Oh, hell to the no.
You're telling me that if the guys were doing this to you, you would just say, all right, I'm not going to do anything back?
Jeff's so excited because he follows us on
I wouldn't.
Snapchat.
I swear I can't. If you start doing these wars with me, I'm gonna let you win. That's fine.
Oh, really?
Moving on, she says that because she knows she ain't gonna beat it.
I mean, I'll try something.
She'll try, she'll attempt, and that's fine.
All right,
moving
okay.
on. Let's talk about Yolanda. Yolanda is Jason's baby mama, and you know, she's about to give birth soon. We find out that Jason's weirded out that he's having a baby with someone who's not the love of his life.
But it wasn't even
Understandable.
that. Like, he said, you know, I'm having a baby with a woman that I don't like, that I'm not in love with, and I get it. But it was kind of like, it seemed like he was just like, I'm having a baby by a woman like I barely even know, or like he just was
Those
not
are lyrics.
excited about, you know, this woman having his baby. I sound crazy.
I mean, we don't
No.
know what the real situation is. You know, like it could have been a one night stand. It could have.
But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
It sounded to me like they weren't trying to have a kid, regardless of how many times they slept together or what. It sounds like they're no longer in a relationship. I don't think they were ever in a relationship, and they weren't attempting to have a kid. But sometimes shit happens.
Yeah,
And-
because for the brother to have picked up the phone talking about, he was like, I don't know if you've ever heard of me before. but-
yeah.
it was
Well,
awkward.
I think he's had so many issues with his dad not being in his life that his entire life he's been like, I cannot wait to have a wife and a kid and to support my kid with my wife. And now it's like that plan that he had to be the perfect father isn't really happening. So I feel like there's a
Right.
lot of added pressure, and the fact that he's not fully in love with his wife, he feels bad, is my assumption.
Well,
Yeah.
his baby mama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would agree with that, but I think that he's somebody who's really able to roll with the punches. I don't mean to say it's shit and punches as in this is a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. I just think that he is handling it pretty well. So obviously it's hitting him like a shit ton of bricks right now. Like, oh my God,
Right.
this is a real thing. I mean, we see later on Sylvia and V making a joke about how you can't just push a kid back in, but that's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just push a kid
He's
back
being a
in.
man.
So yeah, he's really starting to understand that this is an actual thing that's really happening and very soon.
Which, going to that, V wanting kids surprised the hell out of me.
No, see, my friends have that conversation all the time. They're like, I don't actually want a kid, but when I see a kid, I'm like, oh, it's so cute. I kind of want one, but I know I don't want one.
See,
Right.
but what surprised me more was the fact that Sylvia was like, I don't want kids. I'm like, bitch, you're Mexican. Like, you should be wanting that like 4 years ago.
Wait, I don't know what that
Sylvia
means.
needs to get herself together before she be having
Mexicans
any
usually have big
kids. Like,
families.
she needs to calm down that violence before she has any kids. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jason's saying though, maybe that's the thing that helps people kind of grow up. Like you're forced to
I
grow
mean,
up too
totally.
soon.
Obviously, it was meant for him to have a kid, and now he has a kid, and now he can grow from it.
It's really
Whoop-de-doo.
true because all my friends that have kids now weren't supposed to have kids, and it's just God bless.
Some people are
them.
just meant to just have that kid in their life, and you know, I mean, what we saw before she was born, you know, he was really going through it and wanting that female, like, you know, companion, or wanting to at least get something out. But you know, he got his daughter out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's awesome, and I think he is one of the more mature people in the house. But I do think it was a
Well,
moment.
that's not saying much. But yeah.
I think it was a moment of weakness for him that very night, though. You know, he's sexually frustrated, which is understandable. But he goes out and he's kind of like pissed about it. You know, he's not
Yeah.
just like, ooh, I kind of want to get laid. He's like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? Who are you
I
seeing?
mean, he was
being
really
a little
trying to go
crazy
for
about
it.
it. So I think that his priorities might have to switch a little bit now. Like
I-
when you have a kid, you don't really care that much about getting laid every night of the week.
It's so
Maybe you
funny
do.
because I just feel like God works in mysterious ways, and I think it's so interesting. You're on the Real World. How many times do we see these types of shows where these guys go out and they can hook up with whoever they want? He hasn't hooked up with a girl once yet. He's out there like, I mean, it was just like, what are you doing? You want to come back with me? You want to come back? Like all these girls, like one bitch was working. Like she had the thing.
She had the
earpiece. She's like,
You mean random girl number 1?
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me, call her by her name, random girl 1.
And then random girl number 2
Was scary.
And then random girl number 3 had the boyfriend
You
that he
couldn't
just
even
hugged.
go home with random girl number 2. You are not supposed to go home with someone tonight.
Right.
You need to get in that taxi.
Okay, it could not have been her night.
Like
Be
no
nice.
shade on random girl number 2, but I'm just looking at Jason like, Jason.
This is a desperate act of, I don't even know what you would call that.
I was surprised that he wasn't trying harder with Sylvia that night because he's been trying with her and trying with her. You think this is when he would look at her and be like,
No, she don't want
he was
kids.
and he was done ever
And his
since
sperm's working.
he saw her like flip out. He was like, I'm done with that girl.
yeah, he was like, she's got some demons.
Right.
I don't know. I felt like Jason, like, them demons want to dance on my dick.
Honey.
Jesus.
Oh my
Honey
god.
child.
All right, so Tony, they go out and whatever.
I think there's also some added pressure that he's like, I'm about to have
That's
a
what
daughter.
I
This
think
is my
it really
last
comes
night to
down
go.
to.
And he's like, I need to fuck
Yeah.
someone before my daughter comes.
Yeah, but that seems so strange to me because that's exactly what Tony's like, we got to go out and get drunk because, we're celebrating. He's about to have a kid. It was like, do you have to go out and get shithoused? I don't know.
Yeah, but I kind of think he's thinking, like, in his mind, like,
guys-
should I be with her?
I just thought, like, would I get shit-faced right before I'm about to have a kid? But I'm like, oh, wait, I'd be pregnant. I wouldn't be able to do that.
But you probably
But I
would.
probably would have wanted to, like, shit, all right, free
The
head.
rest of my life, I'm friends with this girl.
I know. What did you sign up for?
Jesse would come with me, too. He'd, like, make fake mimosas just to make me happy. And he'd be like, I'm
Sure we're not.
drunk! Ah!
Sure we're not.
Oh, I would do that for you.
If he was pregnant, that's so
That's
sweet.
so sweet. Anyway. Okay, so Madison's sister shows up, Rachel. And
She was beautiful.
she was beautiful.
She
Bruno,
was so
wicked rude,
pretty.
talking about she's way prettier than Madison.
Why the fuck would you say that? I don't understand why some of these people speak when they're on
Thank
national
God Tony
television.
didn't say that.
Yeah, but
know,
he kind of
Tony's
made a
like, "I'm gonna
face.
be quiet."
Wait, but Tony kind of smiled and nodded. Like Bruno's like, "I'm sorry, she's way hotter," and Tony was like, like shaking up and down for a second.
No, she was not way hotter. They're both fucking hot. They
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
look
Both
totally
beautiful.
different, but they look
Different.
Yeah.
like sisters, and they're fucking
And
cute
Madison's
girls.
just such a sweetheart.
Yeah, I love Matt. I live
too.
for Madison.
Me too.
So Rachel comes in and everyone goes out, and Madison like breaks down to her sister, and I almost thought it was gonna turn into something different when she was like, "Yeah, I didn't even tell you, like, And I can just picture how Madison did it too. She was probably so nice, telling Rachel all the nice things about the roommates. And as soon as they're all gone, I didn't even tell you, like, Tony like brought all of his ex-girlfriends here, and it was just like he was so mean to me. And then my roommates, like those girls that were so nice, yeah, they beat the shit out of me right here.
Right, honest.
I was just smoking a cigarette.
That was so weird to see because we keep seeing her be like this really innocent, nice girl, and I don't think it was malicious that she told her sister. You're allowed
No.
to tell your sister whatever the fuck you
I
want.
mean, hell, I would have told her as soon as she came in. I would have told her before she came in, like, girl, this is what happened.
No, of course, and I tell my sister everything. I can't blame her for this,
Right.
but it's so interesting because she's always saying like, "Oh, no worries, forget about it." But now I can see she remembers every fucking
Yeah.
thing everybody did.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
she
she
knows.
has to forget about it for the moments because she's living with these people.
if
I
she's
mean,
no one else.
Like, what is she gonna do? Not talk to Sylvia or V because they did that to her? I mean, they're living together.
I wouldn't talk to somebody if they put me in a chokehold.
I mean, yeah, I'd be like, producers, y'all need to take her home.
Madison's been through some shit though. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
she's like,
But that was her
being-
first fight. What are you talking about?
Please, she's like, I've had track marks between every toe, fucking every finger, bitch. Like, I can take these bitches. I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's what she's into.
No, I think she's. I think it's
thirsty.
the. I think yeah. I don't know.
What are you
Say what you
thinking?
gotta say, Jeff. You
What
can't
are you-
go back. I
I'm
just
sorry, what
said
was
that
that?
she fucking shoots up on her arms and between
my
her
God.
toes.
I think she has.
Good.
I think she clearly has attachment issues, and I think she just like doesn't want to lose anyone in her life, and that someone puts her in a chokehold, and she's gonna just kind of like be okay with it. And it'll be interesting to see what happens after the fact when she leaves the house and see if
They're
that.
definitely not gonna be friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would not be Sylvia's friend.
I don't know,
I think
because
she's
you
being
have
pleasant.
to keep in mind that if they were never going to see each other again and had no reason to reach out, but this show feeds into another show.
Yeah.
And when you're on that other show, you're looking for allies, and Madison's going to have a really hard time making other friends. I just think she's somebody who struggled making friends her whole life, even though I happen to really like her, and I feel like we all see her for who she is. It's really hard for girls to like her, and I get that too. So I could see her being friends with V and being friends with Sylvia, and definitely with Nicole.
Well, it was interesting because I'm trying to figure out the mentality. That's why it's hard for me to like really like the Tony Madison situation now, because I'm just like, okay, is this just gonna last till the show's over?
Forever.
Is it gonna be like an Avery and Johnny situation?
Well, when you say that, do you mean one's going to cheat on the other?
Meaning like, well, obviously I would assume Tony's gonna do the cheating, but yeah, like as soon as the show's over, is Tony like up and at him and like, all right, well, that
Does
was
it last
fun.
long enough for them to be
Right.
exes just to be on the next season?
You know,
of Battle
so
of the
there's
Exes?
that. But then with Madison, it started making me think like with Rachel, like, is Madison in this place where she reconnected with Rachel and Rachel's like, I mean, you know, I reconnected with you and it was cool on the show, but like
No.
this is my life and that's your life, and like
I
No,
don't think
you can
so.
genuinely see how much they missed each other.
Like 100%, especially because this is her little sister, and your little sister, you know, it like they look up to their big sister for everything. So being able to have your role model back and your best friend back, I don't think you do that for a show. I think that this is actually the most sincere of all of the
I'm
skeletons.
not saying it's not sincere.
No, I mean they've accomplished the most by coming on this show.
Yeah.
I think that by her sister coming on, they've actually mended or started to mend a relationship, as opposed to other ones, which I feel like kind of just will get dropped by the wayside. I really think this was the start of something special.
Especially
I hope
because
so.
I think, you know, being on the show, I think they were really able to talk about the problems. You know, before I think they just swept it under the rug, or like when they stand there like, hey girl.
They've only
You
seen each
know,
other
like-
3 or 4 times since Madison's been clean.
Yeah, and I'm
Right.
sure they've like ignored the situation because it was so hard what they went through, and I think they needed this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really interesting, and we could have many different forms of arguments about this on whether we think it's appropriate that Madison is going out and getting drunk in front of her sister, or is going out and getting drunk in general on this show. I mean, I feel mixed about it. I don't
mean-
even know which side I'm on.
You know, I totally get Rachel's side of this. I mean, of course, when it comes to an addiction, you know, I'm not really familiar with it, but I've known like my friends, like sisters, like dealt with it before, and I know like it's alcohol, drugs, anything like that. It really is an addiction, and I mean, maybe she was just hardcore to where it was like, you know, alcohol wasn't that big of a deal. But I totally get where Rachel's coming from. But at the same time, if she's not going crazy about it, like if Madison was like getting drunk every night, like that'd be a problem. But I think she knows how to handle her liquor.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen an issue with Madison being drunk.
Yeah.
She hasn't been an out of control drunk, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But I can understand why her sister wouldn't want it. She shouldn't be doing it in front of her sister,
Exactly.
who lived with her.
You think it's disrespectful?
kind of.
Because I'm sure her sister doesn't want to see her older sister in a unstable mind in general.
Just not in control.
You know, not in control.
I
of
don't
her
think Madison even
feelings,
thought
exactly.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
clearly.
I don't think so either. You know, it's just hard because I'm not a psychologist, and I'm definitely not her psychologist, but I
Right.
don't feel as if Madison has an alcohol problem. She hasn't shown to us on this show
Right.
that she has a problem with that.
But
Right,
that's
right.
not what the problem is. The thing with addiction is usually with addiction is when you give something up, you find something else to kind of fill that
replace.
void.
Right, but
you
do you
usually
feel
find
like-
something positive. And so what Rachel was saying, her being scared was if you're not doing the drug, you know, the only other drug that you can have to kind of mask that over is liquor.
Well, could
And
it be
so-
Tony?
Well, and so for me watching it at the end when Madison was crying to Tony, if I was Rachel, my thing would have been this relationship is what will be toxic to me because
Already?
honestly,
I
yeah,
mean, she
because
can have a good relationship, though.
okay, but what
Such a rocky
what
start.
caused Madison to do drugs was a relationship, and so for me,
Oh, yeah.
Jesse Janely personally, looking at the situation, I would have said to my sister or brother, hey, you know, right now, I would love for you to work on yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
And not have to have this person of depending and all that stuff. Now, maybe Tony will be the savior and ride out on a chariot.
But I
Right.
mean, the way it first started out, like that.
This cycle starts over.
The fact that she went back to him after he did all these things, right there, it's like, ooh, girl.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with you, Jesse, if we had even heard a single comment from her ever being like, the way Tony treats me makes me want to use drugs again. Like, we haven't heard that once, so I'm feeling a little more stable
But
about
she
it.
did
Say
say
it makes her sad.
dating Tony reminds her of her previous relationships.
That's true. That's true. She said that not dating him, but him specifically
Tony, yeah.
reminds her of her ex, which I think she said in reference to the other women, but I'm not
she
sure.
said the negative things that he does.
Right. So I don't think you can really equate cheating on, or not even cheating on you, but dating your exes and using drugs. Those are two
abuse.
separate, and abuse. Those are two separate things. But I do think you make a really valid point, because that's why they tell you.
But it can be something as little as triggering.
Right.
A little something can just trigger that off. That's where I get nervous and scared for someone like Madison, who's like, oh my God, like all these years went by and I didn't even think about my sister.
Right.
Like, what?
Well,
If the
she
show-
was on drugs.
I know, but she ain't on drugs now. She wasn't on drugs a couple months before.
You
prior.
wonder if the show hadn't happened, at what point would she have picked up? I mean, you did say she saw it 3 or 4 times, but at what point does she pick up the phone and say, hey, where are you? Let's really talk this out.
Because she was probably so upset with her own self.
Seems like she didn't even
It
realize.
seemed like she's bouncing from dudes, like...
Well, I don't know.
We're going to find out more next week about her dude bouncing, I think.
I don't know.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I'm not
so
a
the
psychic,
flip side
yeah.
of that, we had Jason came home drunk. Him and Tony had gone out. Jason comes home drunk. He calls Yolanda, leaves a message.
4:06 a.m.
I was like wondering how. Can you answer a phone call when
I
you're
was-
leaving a voicemail?
That's why I
Yeah.
thought. So at first he
But I'm-
Oh,
calls.
you guys
On a
are
house
so
machine.
young.
On a house machine.
No, on a house machine. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that what he called? He didn't
We
call
probably
the cell
ca-
phone?
They weren't in the hospital.
Well, they were in the hospital, but
So how did he know the
Maybe
number
it was
for
a
the
home birth.
hospital?
No, wait. No. The brother was going to the hospital.
no, the brother said, I'm sitting right next to her. The baby's crying. A lot's
Right.
going on. Maybe it was a different phone call spliced together.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I thought he said he was home.
I was
No.
ready for some shit to go down when he started calling.
Oh, I thought it
leaves
was-
a
oh,
voicemail
no!
on Yolanda's voicemail, and then a man picks up the phone. He's
I
like,
thought she
"Yo,
was
who
gonna
the
go
fuck
down.
is this?" Like,
Like, you couldn't get random chick number 2, but Yolanda over here pregnant and fucking some dude.
By the way, that's why Bruno is not mature enough to be a father. Bruno, if he had made that call and heard a guy pick up, he would have been like, who the fuck is this? But he stayed really calm and was like, hey, is this her brother? You know, he was really chill
I mean,
about
he
it.
tried, but deep down inside, he was like, who this on the other line?
I really don't think so.
it was weird to see him go from
I mean, just,
so
like, weirded
drunk
out.
to like sober enough to realize and wake everyone else up.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but you know
like
that
a huge-
happens.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
like a...
I mean, I've been there.
That's
like,
Yeah.
the kind of aha moment, like, oh shit, what I created
He
is
just
real and
blacked
breathing.
in.
and it's
Right.
alive.
That's
all
like
of a
having a bucket of ice dumped over your head for sure.
the
Like you're
ALS
sobering
shot.
up. Yeah, for sure.
Shit.
I can't believe it. Oh, never mind.
No, what?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't. 'Cause
I'm
I
not
don't
going
wanna
there. I know.
what it is.
I'm just not even going there.
So Madison, back to Madison and Rachel. So Madison goes back to the house and talks to Rachel. Rachel says, look, I just want you to find adult friends. Madison starts breaking down and she's talking about, I didn't realize, like,
Adult
How-
friends.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, she said, I want you to find people who have real jobs, who
Jobs
aren't
and not-
drug addicts.
Well, girl,
What?
What?
I mean, I get that, but she's in the real world. Like, we're all just
she said when she goes
she's
back
not
home.
talking about the people
She's
in
not talking about the real world. She's talking about the real world.
I'm like, girl, she can't choose.
Nobody in here
that
has jobs or nothing. Y'all just sitting around here creating dances. Like, this is not a proper environment for you.
But like,
I do agree with you, Rachel. She
okay,
should.
on that note, for real though, is it a good environment for Madison to go on the real world?
Yeah.
I mean, she's been doing fine, but is that something her sister even is down with? I don't know.
Well, I could see the family kind of being like, really, bitch?
yeah.
Like, I could see
seriously?
Rachel driving to the real world and being like, I can't even, like, what am I getting myself into?
Right.
I
What is
don't
Madison
think
going to be
so.
acting like?
Well, at least she knows she's not using
If they
drugs
haven't
on the show.
talked-
Yeah, exactly.
No, and so for her to come
It's a
in
way
and
to-
see a positive people and whatnot, that's why when Madison started telling her, like, yeah, Tony, like, had all these girls and he was, like, mean to me. Like, I'm like, girl, like, Rachel's sitting there like, what?
She's gonna watch the damn show though. She's gonna know.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel was really nervous. So Madison calls her stepdad, who didn't really make...
He's like, yep.
Yeah.
You just shit it on everyone's life.
Wait, was that her stepdad? Was that her stepdad or was that her dad?
Her stepdad. But
Also, she
still,
called.
like,
She called
Rachel's
dad. Got it.
like I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, honey, you know. And he was just like, yep.
She was like,
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
been there. No, you haven't.
No, you haven't. You made her move from Texas or whatever he said.
As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, I think she said verbatim that she never wants to be a part of your life. Actually, I'm going back. So you're really lucky that she's there.
But he kind of giggled while he said it. So
I
maybe-
mean-
he like kind of giggled while he said it though, so he was trying to be
But
nice.
she
Well,
clearly
maybe, yeah.
didn't know, and she clearly needed to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and maybe at this point he's like, I ain't sugarcoating
Yeah.
them with her. Yep, you did, and yep, you don't want to go back to that. So
Of course
let's
not.
keep it positive and keep it pushing.
Do you know how many times that probably, and this was the craziest part, when she's sitting in the directed camera and she turns and she says, was it junior year, senior year, whatever, she didn't even know how long she was on drugs for or
Right.
how many years she was fucking up
so
somebody's life. Do you know how many times that the stepdad probably looked at her and said, you are affecting your sister, like in one ear, out the other, right over her head. She probably wasn't even hearing
It was really
it.
emotional to watch
Junior
this.
in high school or college, whatever, moves away from Texas, and you just like have no idea that has anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Like you.
And then don't talk to anyone, and then everyone thinks that they're gonna get a phone. And the next phone call is gonna be you dead.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people have that friend where you are looking at your phone and if their number comes up on caller ID, you think something's really, really wrong.
Yep, sure do.
So I get that feeling. That's scary as hell. And for that to be your sister, I can't even imagine. That's just like next level.
So Madison breaks down. She never really knew, what she had did to her sister. And then she feels like she doesn't really know her sister. And then that's what she's saying to Tony. Rachel comes out and she's like, like what you guys have is special. And, Tony, just try not to hurt her if she really means that much to you. Like, I just couldn't even take the. I don't know. I felt like I understood what Rachel was going.
Tony just. I would have walked away. We're like, you two talk.
Yeah, I thought
But
that
he
was...
actually knew what she was going through, his sister, because his dad was in addiction and he was hurt by his father, so he can understand.
Absolutely, and he did say she is still here, but I felt like this was such a strong sister moment.
Mm-hmm.
I know he was sitting there first, but it's like, as him, I would have just been like, let me remove myself from the situation. This isn't about me right now. He didn't make it
I'm
about
fine
him.
with him sitting there. I don't have a problem with that. He was being a supportive
Nicolette's
boyfriend.
fine with it, so we'll move on.
Well, I know you would be fine with it.
So Jeffolette's fine with it. Is that what it is?
Thank you, Jeff. I'm just kidding.
Anyway,
I don't want to
She
keep
just
him in
snapped her
check.
finger at you. You
how
gonna
I
take
like
that?
So Tony,
My perfect
Rachel,
match.
well, Rachel goes home after Tony Bruno tried to prank Madison and his sister by barricading the door. They broke a light. Boring.
Like, why are you barricading the door? I'd have been like, okay, no, y'all need to take this away. Like,
Also,
why are you even blocking my door? That's rude. Like,
he breaks a light and like kind of freaks out because they have to pay for it, but it's like you are punching holes in
you
walls.
broke the grill. That's probably a new grill that Jason was kicking.
Oh, definitely.
That grill has been through some shit.
Grill takes it every episode.
Every episode, like,
And you know how many burgers been on that
I'm
grill?
like-
But as a matter of fact, that's
Three. And only three.
whatever grill company that is needs to get some marketing dollars because that grill has lasted
Okay.
strong.
I mean, unless they
Yeah.
haven't replaced it.
Sponsorship for sure.
It didn't look dented or nothing.
But, I mean,
They're like
Every
banging their
fight
head on it.
happens on that tiny ass fucking patio.
yeah, that poor patio's
but
been
there's-
going through
In
it.
every single house, there's always that room. For some reason, a lot of times it's a kitchen, like that people
Yeah.
always go to do something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It happens. You could have the biggest house in the world, and everybody goes to this one room.
The Portland one was it Portland? It was the kitchen
Jenny.
and the
Jenny and
Yep, it was the kitchen
Brian.
and the
But a lot of times the confessional
whatever
is
that
more,
living area was.
or with the beds that like the whatever.
It was
don't
where the
even
phone
know.
was. All right, so then
yeah, it was like that bed.
randomly Nicole's going to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All right.
She is, Nicole.
Now
This is-
Roxy has a huge issue with it.
This is what I don't fucking understand. This show is the real world. So if she's going to do something in the real world, explain to me what she's doing. There's like this half-ass line, I'm going to Brooklyn to be an EMT and save some lives, Was that a joke? Is she actually going back to work? Is she coming back? She said, wait for me? Like, what the fuck is going on?
well, maybe it just wasn't that important to talk about, or maybe
To me, it clearly is. I can't think about anything else.
Or maybe she wasn't. They can't talk about what's going on because it's not
So say
her
that.
life; it's someone else's life.
Say, I can't talk about it. I have to make a trip. I can't talk about it. But don't say nothing, because I'm confused. When are you coming back?
Well,
Alright,
so
girl,
for
why don't you
anyone
tweet her
that
and ask
cared
her?
enough, like Roxy, I'll tweet at Nicole because I'm fine with
And then
it.
at me, so I know what the fuck
do your
happened.
thing.
All I needed was 1 second of, I got a call from my work at home. I'll be back in a few days.
Yeah, but it seemed like it was pre-planned because she didn't get to go on the trip.
When Jason was asking if everyone could come, Nicole did say something, but they didn't make a big deal out of it.
She said, I can't
like-
leave on that day because
Yeah.
I am leaving.
He just said, when are you going? And she said, that's the day I'm going.
Yeah.
So it must have been a big enough deal, but like, how do you know when you're supposed to be an EMT? I don't know. That's
I don't
just
know, girl.
like, it wasn't like she was called for an emergency in Brooklyn days later.
Or she's that important, like we have to fly you out.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, hey, maybe she
whoever,
is.
Maybe she is.
I hope you're okay. Whoever Nicole saved.
Yeah. So the Wolfpack minus Nicole goes to North Carolina to see Jason's baby,
So cute.
Big
Taylor. And Yolanda was there. She was looking real skinny.
I know,
Yeah.
I was picturing somebody so different.
Alright.
I was like, oh, okay, girl.
Here's what I have to say about that. That must mean that the baby had been.
It was just baby weight.
No.
Clearly.
Obviously that, but what I'm saying is it must have been weeks after the baby was born, if not a month after the baby was born, that they went. Because I don't understand how she could be that skinny. Like, her arms were toothpicks.
No, honestly.
Well, the way she was sitting, it was all stomach and face.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
She looked
it
tiny.
probably just went, and it's probably just like, you know.
That baby was tiny. I don't think it was a month.
No, honestly, yeah, because
It's got to be a couple weeks. You think it was really a couple days?
yeah, my brother's wife,
They be
all
cleaning the
just
baby,
the
and
baby.
everything.
It was
you know?
literally just the baby, just boop. And actually, now that I think of it, boop, boop, just slip right on out.
She was in a t-shirt. I guess there could have been a little.
The perfect example would be my homegirl, but she had the kid in high school. But this girl was like pen skinny, and she just had that baby on it. She got rid of that baby. You thought this bitch was ready for a catalog shoot. Like, all right, girl.
Wow.
Should I hope
It-
that happened to
I
me?
guess.
Don't play.
Lucky girl. She was beautiful. And the baby.
Yeah, I was looking at Yolanda like, wait, Jason, like, what's wrong with Yolanda?
I know. I was thinking
Yeah.
that too because she seems so cool.
Yeah, like
Totally.
Jason and Yolanda, like
Yeah.
she'd just be letting Jason do whatever he wanted. And Jason
Maybe
be coming
she's the right
home
woman for him. Jason, start looking into that family you want.
Until he comes,
Let's see.
it comes on and tells us that Yolanda's already got a man, and
Oh, Yolanda probably ain't playing. She's like, okay, he definitely don't want to be here. Well, let me figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in seeing Taylor, it made him realize that he wants to know why his father left.
That's a good
Dun,
question.
dun, dun.
And now I'm wondering, MTV.
Oh,
are
you
y'all
know
gonna
the
bring
daddy's
Jason?
coming up in there.
All right. Number one, I think it's so valid that he is curious when he's looking at his
Totally.
kid, wondering like, how could somebody ever leave this? I think that is the most full circle.
Yeah.
I can't believe how incredibly beautiful that moment was. But and sad. But number two, oh my God, I'm freaking out for him.
Yeah.
Like. That is real shit. Like earlier on, when we see Bruno bitching about V's thing being like rich people problems or whatever, this is some real shit.
Yeah.
It brings
He's
me
not
back
father.
to with Nani on her season. Remember, MTV paid for her to
yeah.
go find her father.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. So I wonder if he's gonna come into the house or if Jason will like have a sit-down conversation like Madison's about to
How
have.
the hell is MTV gonna get Jason's dad, who wouldn't have been his dad for all these years? You think that he's just gonna come on for the fame? Because then that's messed up.
Didn't y'all see it in the previews?
No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying how did they do that? Because he must be wanting to get some camera time.
Bitch, if Maury Povich
don't
and Jerry
know.
Springer can find
Right.
trailer park
Baby
ass motherfucking baby daddies.
But it's
I think-
because people want camera time. That's why I'm not believing anything. Even if the guy comes on and is like,
I don't
Jesus,
know,
I'm so
girl.
sorry. Really? You're sorry? You missed 25 years of my life.
Well, at
Or-
least it's giving them the opportunity to talk about it on TV or not TV. At least they're talking about
Or
it.
saying that
And-
you have a grandkid now. Maybe it'll, I don't know.
Right.
something
And
will
these
click.
producers, like, they go in, they'll sit Jason's father down. They'll be like, Jason's a great kid. Like, he's really been, he just had his baby. You have a granddaughter. Like, they're gonna go in there. They're psychology. Like, they go in
Yeah,
there
they
and
mess
mind
with your
fuck
head.
with the people. Like, this would be the perfect because they go always. Everyone's always like, oh, I don't know if I want to share my story on camera. No, this is the perfect opportunity because someone like you could change millions of other fathers out there.
I wonder if they saved Jason.
Yeah.
Guilt
Yeah.
on Jason's father.
100%. I wonder if they saved Jason to the last because they were trying to get the dad to come on for a long time, and they started filming and they had like a backup skeleton for Jason, but this is the real one.
Well, that
I guess
probably
we'll
was. They were probably like, after Jason went home and saw the kid, they were
They
probably
were
like,
perfect
oh.
timing. Yeah. For sure.
It would be interesting to know what the plan was.
Boom. So they come back home and everyone's all happy, and then ding dong, there's some flowers at the door for Madison.
That is so sketch.
Especially
what we were all talking about before.
I was thinking like,
And
oh,
then that
Tony, that's so
happened, we were talking
sweet.
about-
Oh, I knew it wasn't from
How
Tony.
they were gonna bring the eggs and
I
stuff.
completely thought it was from Tony.
You
I thought it
actually
was
thought
so.
it was-
Yeah, I thought they were gonna leave us at the cliffhanger that the
I thought it
flowers
was
at
gonna
the
be
door,
so cute
and then
from
next
Tony.
week it was gonna be like,
no
oh, Tony. If it was the cliffhanger, you know they do that sometimes. They give us like a fake ass cliffhanger.
I literally thought for a split second it was Tony, but then it was just that split second. I was like, no,
Dude, I think I'm the only Tony fan here, and
I like
knew
Tony.
for a second it wasn't from him.
You don't believe in Tony
Tony's
like
never.
that.
I love Tony.
you know what?
He's never
Tony
bought no
got
flowers.
getting a little piece of his own medicine, honey.
Well, because the note said, I want to meet you at 3 o'clock. Come alone. And on that note, let's head into
Predictions.
Tony's like, that's so sketchy. Is it?
Like Creed.
Oh, I thought it said come along.
Come along. I would have been like,
Come along.
I thought he was saying Tony come along.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
she
that
really
would've
can't
been
come
really
along
weird.
because she has cameras with her, so I wouldn't be that scared.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
what do you
along
mean
with
scared? You're
your
thinking it's like a.
person crew.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
That
'cause-
some random ass person sent me flowers and they told me to meet them at a place. Like, come along. Like, I'd be scared.
It's so crazy because they don't have their cell phones or anything like that. Somebody left me a note. I would. It's starting to rack your brain thinking, who the fuck could this be from?
And flowers. So it's
And
like, it's not
flowers.
just like my dad.
I've
or
been
my
wanting to take you
mom.
out.
Yeah.
So oh my God.
Yeah, I've been wanting to take you out.
I have no idea.
So,
But she
like,
also, do you think
maybe
this,
he's been out here?
what are the chances it was one of the guys she was flirting with earlier this season?
I mean,
That's what I initially thought.
Oh, like that one guy.
At the
Yeah.
bar, yeah.
Maybe.
Because in the preview, we see the guy has blonde hair. The guy at the bar had like,
blonde hair.
yeah, blondish hair.
It didn't look like
It
his
didn't,
build,
no, it
though.
didn't. It didn't.
Yeah.
But,
But
it could be somebody else.
Tony looks like he goes ham, bugs
going through
out
it.
for majority of the episode.
I'm glad. It's not like she did anything. He just reached out to her. She didn't do anything.
Right.
Let's watch Tony lose his shit for a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tony needs to squirm a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a taste of his own medicine.
I do
but-
like him, but yeah. Let him squirm.
Tighten up the reins on T-Reins, you know? Just a little bit. On that note, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys can tweet me at DJ Jesse J.
At Since They Don't Play.
At Roxy Striar.
At Jeff_Thurm.
Until next week, same time, same place.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.